So let me open up a page for you and let me share the page with you. So now let us go a little bit deeper and say, okay, what else we do? So you think of, and we are going inside the economics again. So now it is, we obviously realize managerial economics has to come out of economics. So we go to economics, and economics has divided itself. And let me start with my logic. One is called consumer. And one group is called producer. Economics will say, look, I want to divide. So everyone creates their own world. So economics as a subject, we said we create our own world. And in our world, we divide human society, human being, into consumer and producer. Another subject will say we divide human being into men and women. Another subject will say we divide human being into Muslim and non-Muslim. So remember, every subject has their domain set up. Economics domain is we talk about consumer and producer. And producer is a group who decides what to produce. You belong here. And consumer is a group who decide what to consume. Fortunately or unfortunately, they don't see each other. So it's an amazing fact of life that consumer never see a producer never see a consumer, but it works. So the egg you have eaten today, do you know who produced it?
No, sir.
No idea.
No, sir. No.
So you start thinking about it. These two groups somehow discuss, somehow transaction, everything is happening, but they never see each other. And they actually go through an institution, which is known as market. Remember, market is institutions which basically link consumer and producer. So the market is an institution that links both consumer and producer. There's another part which is called the economy. Which means the overall, I would say, the environment, economic environment, or some people will say environment, where you survive, where you are doing a production system, right? Based on this, you take decision. And the economy itself is dependent on its own elements. We'll come back on this one. So let's finish this consumer producer. So we have these two groups, they look into the market. Producer have a decision-making tool, and they say, I want to maximize my profit. Consumer has a decision-making tool who said, I want to maximize my satisfaction. Completely two different tools. Consumer believes that I would only spend on products that increases my satisfaction. Producer believes I want to increase on product that increases my profit. Now, it is important to understand that there is a difference between profit and wealth. Many textbooks in economics do not explain it properly. In other words, you might say, what is the difference between profit and wealth? Are they same?
No, not same.
Not same.
Not same.
Not same, sir.
But wealth is created out of profit. So remember, the logic is wealth is created out of profit. And if your time is zero, in other words, there is no future, there is no past, then profit and wealth is exactly same. So the fundamental, and this is why people have to understand that when we talk about all this, we need the framing of the logic. And the framing of the logic that wealth and profit are exactly same if there is no difference in time, which means today's profit is my today's wealth, nothing else. But if I have long time that I create profit and I accumulate them into a wealth. So there is a difference, but in microeconomics, when we discuss, we normally say there is no difference in time. In other words, time is only now. In that case, wealth and profit, maximization of profit technically means maximization of wealth. Economists define satisfaction as a concept and say it's called utility. That I would only spend money if it satisfies. So I need, when I want to
They
spend money,
consider only the functional part, sir, not the emotional one.
oh, it is emotional. So satisfaction
Utility is more of functional part, sir.
no, it's an emotional part. I buy products for my son, for my daughter. She
Okay.
becomes happy and I become happy. So the whole purchasing decision was emotional. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, so don't assume that it is, so it's a satisfaction. The satisfaction, whichever way you derive satisfaction. You derive satisfaction by giving a gift to a person you like. That's a emotional part. But will you spend all of your wealth to buy things for him or her? Where would you put your limit?
Exactly.
Is it unlimited or is it limited?
আমার earning এর উপরে স্যার completely.
So now you realize, so I'm giving you your, we have all, so this is the difference. So your utility and your income is linked because you find out that,
Yes.
okay, that's what I'm pushing them. So you have to be careful about it. On the other hand, how do I earn my income? How do I earn my income?
From the market, right?
No, by selling labor. That is one of your income source,
Okay.
right?
Selling
Your
product.
income, so income is coming from
Selling labor.
labor. That is one. Your income comes from selling product, which is called profit, right? So remember that profit producer. So you, now it looks like a consumer is actually also a producer, right or wrong? Because here is a profit, here is a profit. Your income comes from rents, renting resources. Any resource that you have, you rent it out and you say, this is my source of income. Your
Also,
income comes from lending capital. So you have income coming from 4 different sources. So now you realize, and one of them is here actually in the producer side, which actually brings us to the question, are they separable? Can we divide consumer and producer separately? Answer is no. So why then we decide them separately? Answer is yes, they are separate, but they're not separate. It's like me as a son and as a father. My decision making is completely different. As a son,
Overlapped.
It's not overlap, it's also totally different type of decision making. When I take my decision, when I want to take decision as a son, my behavior completely changes. So this is what we say, economists will see individual has 2 entity, producer and consumer. I have the same entity. When I want to sell a product, I want the best price. When I want to buy a product, do I want to give the best price? Complete opposite. I said, no, I want to list price. So my decision-making behavior changes depending on whether I'm a producer or I'm a consumer. So never assume that the consumer and producer are completely separate things. That's why economists rename consumer and they said, oh no, this is not a consumer. This is called household. We change the name. We say, no, it's not a consumer, it's called household. And household is the ultimate owner of all resources. And there is a producer, and we call it as a farm, not an individual anymore. We start looking different. You say, this is not a producer, it's in farm. Now remember, when you go to the textbook, you see all these words, but I'm going between the lines to understand the logic. So this is a farm. What is the difference between farm and producer? Producer looks like individual. Farm is not an individual, it's an entity. An entity, farm, is owned by the household. So yes, this profit will not stay there. This profit will come here, right? this wealth will be here. So in other words, it eventually comes to the household. So we have created a system by which we assume that the world is household, human beings are the owner of resources, and they want to manage the resources to maximize their wealth. Remember, wealth also comes to the household, right? Eventually, that's the decision-making process, that I want to maximize my decision-making based on household. Wealth is linked to my income. So you now realize that income and wealth are linked, and this I do not need anymore, because this profit eventually creates income, goes to wealth, eventually goes to household. Farms are my entity which I own. So I decide, household decide on behalf of the farm. But when they decide on, and this is where their decision-making process is not profit, it's called maximizing profit. That is their objective. And the household decision on maximizing utility. They have a completely different way of thinking, and the behavior is different. So yes, in economics, in managerial economics, we will study farm behavior, we will study consumer behavior, because both of them are relevant for us. If the consumer behavior changes, it will change your decision. Why should I wait? Yes, you don't need to study them. When? If you are not a decision maker. If you are a follower, you don't need any of them. That's what millions of shopkeepers, millions of producers around the world do not need an MBA. Why you need an MBA to take a decision? Because the world has become complex. You do not see them, right? You are selling a product, you do not know who is buying it. Maybe somebody from Africa is buying it. Somebody from Europe is buying my product. Somebody from China is buying my product. You do not have any connection between producer and consumer. But if you run a Mudid Dukan, you have a good connection between producer and consumer. You see who is buying your product. And that is why these shops never employ MBA. So the shops that the producer that are looking for MBA are the producers who are at a different level. They understand that I don't see consumer, I don't see producer, but I have to take a decision. And if your faculty of decision making is not improved, you will never become a decision maker. So remember the difference between seeing things and seeing and believing. That is something does not happen in the decision-making process. Probably the person who decided to come to Bangladesh in Telenor never visited Bangladesh, but he thought, never seen Bangladeshi people. According to them, they seen Bangladeshi means is a poverty-stricken people, poorest people on earth. But they thought, no, this is a country to go. Think carefully, globally. Now this is one. The second point I want to look into the overall business environment. I don't want to call environment because that takes you the wrong side. It's called business environment. In which environment you operate. You operate in a world which is very competitive. So where there are government, you do not forget about the government. Government is an important element of business environment. You operate in a world which is, there are laws and regulations. You operate in a business environment where there are corruption. There are corruption. You operate in a world where there are inflation. You operate in a world when there are foreign exchange crises. You operate in a world which has, for example, trade dispute. So these are all forms your macro environment. You are fantastic here, but then you find out you forgot about all the macro environment. So macro environment will also affect your decision making. So while you will be taking a decision based on micro, you should also look into the macro and say what. So when we study this course, and I'm trying to bring into your mind that how do we study things, we will, and in the next class we will start talking about farms, because you are, and obviously I'm not teaching economics. I will be teaching using economics to make your decisions. That, okay, how do I think about it? How do I define a good decision versus a bad decision? I will look into the farm decision making and look into the consumer decision making. And then I will look into the market, that when they meet in the market, how the decision is done. So this will be our part of the first 4 or 5 lectures. Quite a lot of syllabus to cover, but we will condense it. And the second, another 4 or 5 lectures, so there will be 6 lecture here and 5 lecture here. And second 5 lecture will be on this, on the business environment. Together we will decide, okay, if I want to take a decision, one eye should be on this side and one eye should be on that side. And if I have 2 different eyes on 2 different places, obviously we will start thinking about it. Okay, how should I take my decision based on both sides of the world? Is that clear so far?
Absolutely, sir.